7.
Hello, 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 hello,
Right.
hello.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, good.
everyone good? Yeah,
Good.
everyone good? Good, good, good.
Yeah.
Right, good stuff. So, how is everyone?
Yeah, well, fine, thank
Yeah,
you.
good. Just
good,
tired, but other than that, I'm all right.
Good, good, good. You're always tired, Em.
I know.
There's always some excuse.
Why are you tired?
Why?
Is it just because you're busy?
Just don't
Yeah.
stop.
Mm.
I'm not sleeping very well. Really, I'm just really tired, and I get into bed, and my brain's just like
Million
Yeah.
miles an hour.
buzzing.
Yeah.
Right, so to this week, we were going to start off. We were going to discuss this the stabbing in Croydon of the young schoolgirl,
Yeah.
and the fact that I was saying to Emma before we went live, before we started recording, it frustrates the life out of me
Yeah.
that the parents, the friends, the family have to
Yeah.
go. They know who he is,
Yeah.
but it can't be released,
Yeah,
and it drives me insane. I don't understand why.
No.
it's ridiculous. And I'm not being funny, but at 17, come on.
Yeah. I know.
It's not
I
exactly
mean,
your child,
you're
are
like
you?
a hair's breadth away from being an adult.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and especially, I mean, I saw some of the screenshots of text messages that he was sending his mates after he stabbed her.
Yeah, I know.
I haven't seen those.
Have you
Oh,
not?
they've-
Well, his face was on the
Yeah, they're shocking.
text messages.
I mean, if you could decipher the street language, I mean, it's shocking.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it wasn't
Saying
pleasant
things
to
like
read,
what?
actually.
All saying his mates saying, they're all laughing, saying, yeah, I had to do her, innit? I saw her and I had to do her. And then his mate asked him that.
Again, I know it's an ongoing case, so we can't say much about it. But was he known to her then?
I don't know. I would assume so.
Well, the story, the bits that I've read about it is that he was trying to win back an ex-girlfriend, and the girl that got stabbed was a friend of the ex-girlfriend because the ex-girlfriend didn't want any of it. So the girl, sadly, the girl that died, wasn't the ex-girlfriend. She was a friend of the ex-girlfriend, and when he was trying to get to the ex-girlfriend with a machete, she sort of dived in the way to try and protect her friend, and she ended up coming off worse for it. So, I know.
So she's a hero, really.
She is, yeah. But you know what's sad as well? I mean, it's just such a tragic tale. Her mum is a nurse and had saved up really hard to give her a private education, just to give her the best start in life,
Yeah.
And she had dreams of being a lawyer and all sorts. And I mean, what's it all for?
Yeah.
I mean, what's all the violence for, really?
I'm not sure about his win back technique though with a machete.
Well, he obviously, I think, because he had flowers and all that, but because there were pictures of the bunches of flowers on the floor, so he obviously had the machete hidden, just in case she said no.
That just tells you everything you need to know about him.
Right.
But yeah, we're not allowed to know who he is because he's too young.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's, like I said, there's people out there know who he is.
Yeah. And it's not the only one, is it? He's not the only one that's had their identity protected.
No, it's
so wrong.
And it's just, I think it's bad for the families.
It is. It's awful.
I mean, even young kids, like the Jamie Bolger story. I still can't think about it without getting a lump in my throat.
Oh, it's awful. I know.
And that he's just reapplied for parole again.
Yeah, I don't know why they just don't make it a life term.
Yeah,
they can't come out.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't hear much about the other one.
No,
like the other one, he's obviously licking his wounds, and he's obviously gone and hid himself somewhere in a corner of the country where no one knows where he is.
Yeah,
lucky him, eh?
Which is probably the best thing for him. But this other fella, they let him out 3 times, and he's like indecent images of children and whatnot, and all this, that, and the other. And you just think it's obviously that's who he is. He's never going to change. That's who he is. So why would you let someone like that out into the public?
Yeah, that's right.
Where he's an imminent threat to children.
Some people are never going to be rehabilitated. It's just not work. It's just not going to work.
I don't understand why now. Like their identities are still no one knows their identity though, do they?
I don't know. No. Especially the one that went quiet has gone and is, like you say, has just taken himself away and he's living his life somewhere.
So what do you think about things like that? You know, someone like so who was it? It was Venables is the dodgy one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the other one, I can't remember who the other one was.
But that's what I mean. See, that's what no one can.
Something.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, John Thompson. Or
so I'm just thinking, like, what do you think about someone like that? Okay, they committed an absolutely heinous crime. One's carried on being a bit of a dirtbag, and the other one's gone off and has never been heard of again since. Do we still feel the same about both of them?
I think it's difficult because I mean, if I was Jamie Bulger's mum, I would want their heads on a platter.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, you would, wouldn't you? You know, I mean, why wouldn't you? And I would feel exactly the same way. But I think that they were kids, but they were old enough to know what they were doing.
Yeah,
you know, they knew it was wrong.
Yeah, because otherwise they would have took him away somewhere and did it.
And you can, is it right that people can keep making excuses like, well, I was abused, you know, my parents beat me, or this happened, or that happened to me, so that's why I became that person. But there's also potential that somebody can do something that abhorrent and turn their life around. You know, so I don't know what the answer is.
It's hard one, isn't it?
But I always think that argument falls flat on its face because there's so many people out there that have been abused that don't go on to do things like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I agree. I agree. But how do we know that the Thompson? If I'm honest, I don't remember the trial that much. But I don't know. Was Thompson kind of dragged along through it with Venables? Or...
I think that was the gist of it in the beginning, and I think that's why. I think that's why you never hear anything about him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't think he's obviously kept himself below the radar. And I mean, I know if you go to prison or something like that, I mean, the reason they're giving it, he's got to have a chance of coming out and building a life as much as some people don't want him to. If he was just if they just kicked him out onto the street, here's this bloke, he done this, he lives there. Yeah. It'd just keep going round and round and round in circles.
Yeah, I agree. You know, you can't at that age, for somebody to commit that sort of crime at that age, you have to, depending on how they mature, what their behaviour in prison and stuff like that, you've got to give, if somebody's showing potential, you have to give them a chance.
Well, yeah, of course, you can't keep him locked up forever.
No.
But then at the same time, the state need him off the books.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They can't just keep him for keeping him sake. They've got to, at some point, they've got to say, right, you've got to go.
Yeah.
You've got to go and live your life.
Yeah.
I mean, but I mean, it's not going to be a good life because he's got to live with that every day.
Yeah.
And I bet there's not one moment of the night where he's laying in bed and he doesn't think of that day.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'll just have a very good look to see how long they served. So the boys were ordered to be detained at Her Majesty's pleasure, meaning indefinitely. However, in 2001, a 6-month review by the parole board found they were no longer a threat to public, and they were released on a life license after serving 8 years.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that was probably a bad decision.
Yeah. I think in hindsight, looking back, they probably realised. I
mean, 8 years. You know,
we made a mistake there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it says so Robert Thompson was released after 8 years and has not reoffended.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't imagine having to live the life that he's got to live.
No.
Do you know what I mean? I couldn't imagine it.
Yeah.
We have to question some of the decisions that parole boards make anyway. There was somebody else they released recently, wasn't there? And there was a big sort of campaign to keep this person back in prison. I'm not sure it was really. I'm going to have to
Sorry, so something just popped into my head actually. So who is? Oh my God, his name's gone right out of my head. He's a very, very well-known prisoner who served a really long sentence for never actually he's never committed murder or anything like that.
Bronson.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just talking about parole and all that, I know I might be going a bit off track, but we're just going to roll with it. He keeps being refused parole, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Or, like, what's his worst
Well, I mean, it depends how long you've got him. It could go on for days. I mean, he's taken prisoners hostage, prison wardens hostage, governors hostage. He's stabbed people. He's set prisons on fire. He's
I suppose when you put it like that, Bill, yeah,
all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're talking about, when you balance it up against someone that's interfered with a child who gets out after 10 years, in comparison to what he actually got put away for, which was armed robbery.
Well, this is what I'm saying. It's like it went from like just bad to worse, didn't it, for him? And he wasn't even Mickey. He I don't know. I just think people like the people that committed the Jamie Bulger murders served 8 years, got parole after 8 years, and then someone like Charles Bronson, who I think is a result of what the prison service has made him, because they kept I don't know. I think they've kind of moulded him in that way.
Yeah.
Well, what they done is they created a monster.
Say that again?
They created a monster.
Yeah, but I'm like, okay, so we went to prison for armed robbery, but then you keep locking someone up and treating them like that and treating them like an animal. He's probably thinking, well, I don't know. I struggle with it a little bit.
It'll be like one of them, like they done it with the Crays. It'll be like, what? You've only got a week to live right. We'll let you go.
Yeah. Well, people become institutionalized, don't they? They can't live anywhere else, which is why you see this constant rotation of prisoners. They do a crime, they're in prison, they're released. They do a crime, they're in prison, and it almost becomes like their home.
Yeah, because they've got a social life in prison. They've got mates out there.
They reoffend because they know they're going to have a shower, a bed, 3 meals a day.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to have work.
That's right. Yeah.
But it's the same as the young girl that was murdered in Ilford. The man that murdered her had been released a week before by accident.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he was categorized in the wrong way, and he'd been put in prison for attacking a lady, and then they let him out by mistake. And about 3 nights after he got out, he went out on the lash and saw this young girl walking home on her own after a club and dragged her into an alleyway and killed her.
Oh, for God's sake.
And then it turns out that he wasn't even supposed to be there. He wasn't even supposed to be out.
Yeah.
How do you ever get? I mean, I know you'd never get over that anyway, but
no,
it's just like adding salt to the wound, isn't it?
I mean, how do you explain that to someone's mum?
Yeah. What on earth?
Oh, sorry about that. We made a mistake. We wasn't supposed to let him out. We're supposed to let him out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the one that's coming out soon, probably coming out soon, I don't know if they've made a decision yet actually, is Colin Pitchfork. Strangled 2 15-year-olds, and there's a 2-day parole hearing to decide if he should be freed from jail.
Yeah.
And obviously parents, these children are just doing everything they possibly can to keep him in there, you know. But
I think that I think if you murder a child as an adult, then you should never be allowed back to society.
No.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I'm not talking about hit and run or like you accidentally knock. I'm not talking about. I mean, if you go out to murder a child, then you forfeit your right to ever be in society again.
Yeah, that's right.
Like what I don't understand is if I'm not advocating for it, but if you robbed a Royal Mail van of 20 grand, and then your mate went and killed someone in a pub, a fight, you're more likely to get about 15 years more in prison than what your mate would get.
Yeah.
And I know people. It's only money; it can be replaced. But when you kill someone, they can never come back.
No, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
But I've never understood. But then when you think about it, it's because you're stealing from the state. So as soon as it goes back to the thing with Charlie Bronson. I mean, he makes them look silly.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
So they punish him.
Yeah.
By saying, right, well, we hold the key to your release.
Yeah.
And it's like we're going to dangle it in front of you, but when you go to grab it, we're going to whip it away from you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like you steal from the state, then we'll make an example of you. And what would normally be a 10-year sentence is if you stole the money from NatWest, we're going to give you 25.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I know it all just seems wrong. The ratios are wrong, aren't they? Really?
Yeah. The crime never seems to fit the time.
No.
Ever.
No.
It's like the whole. Remember the old Baby P situation?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, both of them are out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. How do you rationalise that?
Yeah, you can't, can you? You
can't. I just don't understand. And what's to stop that lady from ever going on and having another child?
There's nothing to stop her.
Exactly.
No.
And I'm not saying that you should tear out her womb, but there should be some sort of like if she was to ever rock up to a doctor again and say, "Well, I'm pregnant," then there should be some sort of like a doctor would have to ring someone and say, "Look, so and so came in today."
Well, they would.
Thought we should let you know that she's pregnant.
She'll be flagged now, so when she's pregnant, she'll be referred straight to social services.
Yeah, be monitored.
You have to question how good social services are, but so she will get that. She will be watched in that way, but people move and they they move from one town to another and they sort of give people the runaround and social services, whether it's through cutbacks or what, they're just not that effective at the moment. At the minute, I don't think. So
I think there's been a lot of problems in a lot of cases, hasn't it? Where like something's happened to a child, and when the full story comes out, it's like, social services were meant to attend that day but never turned up.
Well, it's funny. I haven't one of these tragic cases. All of them had social services involvement. All the ones that I've read, they were all on the radar. But like you say, it'll be like, we didn't go that day. Or when they got to the door and they could hear a baby screaming, and they turned around to the mum and said, "Well, why is baby screaming?" And they're like, "We can't come in at the moment because we've got something going on." And social worker goes, "All right then, I'll see you next week."
Yeah.
I think they're the things that should change. If there's a baby that's a high risk, then I think they should be given powers to say, like, look, we're not leaving. Until
we can see that baby safe.
Yeah, until we can see that baby, or they'll bring a GP with them and say, "Well, the baby's going to have a quick examination, and if everything's fine, then we're off." But then because I think a lot of it comes from COVID as well.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it was going on. It's been going on for time, hasn't it? But COVID made things a lot worse. It gave people a cover, didn't it? Everybody had to stay home, and nobody could come in, no one could go out, and so it was a perfect cover for an abuser.
Yeah, well, I mean, not just child, but I mean, like domestic abuse as well.
Domestic abuse as well.
Well, that increased massively, domestic abuse in.
Yeah, it did.
Is it spousal murders?
Spousal
abuse,
yeah.
But they were saying like murders of women who have been victims of abuse were being killed.
But in turn, then that increases the suicide rate, and then it all just skyrockets, and then it all comes back to, like you said before, like there's all these governmental agencies that know about certain people, know about things. It just never. Oh yeah, we were going to get to that one. Or I've got cases on my desk that are this high, and then when you hear about what really things like this that really boil my blood is when you hear about this Poxy HS2 train line, that they're now going to scrap, that they've spent about 50 billion quid on, and they say, we just haven't got the funds.
Well, that really annoys me.
So what they should do, what they've done now basically is took 50 billion quid, tipped it in the middle of Trafalgar Square, and set it alight.
Yeah.
That's what they've done. And like things are hanging on by a string. The health service, the schools. I mean, schools are falling down, roofs are falling in. I don't know how you can justify that. It drives me absolutely insane. I listen to the radio every day, and you get one of the ministers on LBC, and they're trying to say, and it's always a case of, but Labour done this. But
Yeah.
we're not talking about Labour. We're talking about you. You're there at the moment. You're doing this, not them. So what's the answer? And they go, oh well, Conservatives have done this over the last 10. We're not talking about the last 10 years.
Yeah.
We're not talking about last week. I'm talking about right now.
Yeah.
What is going on? And the woman couldn't give that Nick Ferrari a yes or no answer. And he's asking her, is it going to be scrapped or not? It's a simple question. It's yes or no.
Or no, yeah.
And then they just try and dance their way around it.
Yeah, that's right.
And it drives me insane. It really winds me up. But
I can't even get too involved in politics because I think no matter who you vote for, no matter where you go, nothing ever seems to change.
It won't, because it's only in our country, same as America. It's only a two-party system.
Yeah.
You might have other parties around you but they're like your silly ones, like Raving Looney Party or but it's a two-party system.
Yeah.
So you're only ever going to get one or the other. There's no variation. And they're always the way it always works is they're always cleaning up after the people that were in before. So they're always going around in a circle saying, well, we've got to do this because they done this.
Yeah.
We've got to do this because they done that. And it's just a cycle. It just goes round and round and round and round and round, and nothing ever changes.
Nothing ever changes.
Nothing ever changes.
That's what I never see. I never see a difference in my life.
No, but you won't. But you won't notice. Rich people notice a difference.
Yeah.
People that get tax breaks, people that get things like that, they notice the difference because it's a trickle down economy. So if they do good things for rich people, they assume that rich people are going to do good things for the people below them.
Yeah, that's right.
And it doesn't work like that. It doesn't. Yeah. It just doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm not. It's a good thing, but that's why you get communist countries. They just say, right, well, you and your next door neighbour you've all got to be on a level pegging. So if he's worth 500 grand, everyone should be worth 500 grand.
Yeah, sure.
And it's not a good place to be.
No.
But it's like, with the way that our country works, it's also not a good place to be. Nothing ever works for people that get up every day and go to work.
No.
No.
It's all right if you live in Mayfair and you've got a £15 million townhouse, and then the Prime Minister gives you a tax break, and you're like, oh, at the end of the month we're 15 grand better off.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But it won't make a difference to you because you don't make that kind of money.
No, that's right.
No.
So you're never going to feel it. You'll never ever feel the benefit of any of that stuff.
No, that's right.
And that's why the Conservative Party are a rich person's party.
I don't think Labour's much better at the moment.
No, I don't think they are at all. But the trouble is it's a two-party system. There's no alternative. There's nowhere to go. And you can't be an independent.
No.
Because Labour and the Conservatives are too powerful. So you went up as an independent, you just get crushed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no point.
Yeah, definitely politically homeless.
Yeah. I know people say I don't vote. I mean, you should. I still think you should vote.
Yeah, I do. You end up voting for the least worst option.
Yeah, but I mean, just I think you should vote just because you can vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's places in the world where people they're literally fighting and killing each other before they vote.
Yeah.
And we get it as easy as they put the letter through your door, sign that, send it back, done.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But there's not enough options. There's not enough.
I should probably be more up on politics than I am. I'm not very good at it.
Yeah, but I watch a lot of politics and it really gets me down.
Yeah.
I really do. I mean, I watch BBC Parliament. How many people do you know watches that?
No, you don't.
I do. Honestly, ask Mum.
Oh, Bill.
Good God.
I watch PM's Question Time.
Oh, for crying out loud.
It drives me mad.
Well, I suppose it's got to be better than Coronation Street.
It drives me mad. But then, because I watch a lot of American politics as well. And I think, and that's the only thing, I watch that to make myself feel better.
Yeah.
Because I think it could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
Every time I see Donald Trump's face, I just want to punch it.
I like seeing his face because I like listening to what comes out of his mouth next because it's hilarious.
It makes me, when someone makes it's like it's like seeing a car crash. You know you shouldn't look, but you can't help it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, what are you going to say?
What he needs to do is he needs to walk around with a shovel because he just constantly digging himself a bigger hole with every time it happens. I don't know who his PR person is, but they should be saying to him, no, don't say that, don't do that, don't open your mouth.
Yeah, but I mean, it's I haven't looked at it for a little while, but it was looking quite good to be, not prime minister, what they call him, president again, wasn't he?
Well, he still can run for president. The only time he can't run for president is if he's been charged with anything, even though he's been indicted and he's under investigation. He's in court.
Yeah.
But he can still run for president.
Yeah.
But the trouble is if they're saying at the moment, he at the moment, as it stands at the moment, he would win.
Yeah.
Which is frightening.
Oh my God.
Which is frightening. But then if that was to happen, he could just pardon himself.
Yeah. Yeah. I know, it's a crazy system, isn't it?
Yeah, so he could get into office and go, do you know what? I'm free. I didn't do none of that.
Free, yeah.
See you later.
That's shocking, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then the trouble with that is like they're doing at the moment. They'll just have revenge politics. So like, if he got in now, then he'd go after all the people that are going after him now.
Yeah.
And it'll just be like infighting. And I think that's when I think to myself, well, we could be a lot worse.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
We could be so much worse.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true, we could.
Phil, do you remember that programme we used to watch? Olivia Pope?
Yeah.
I don't.
Scandal,
yeah.
I always used to watch that, talking about like the president and stuff. I always used to watch that and think, do you think that really happens?
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, you've got to think, the way I look at it is all them programmes, it must come from a lot of fact.
Yeah, Claire, if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's
Yeah.
a really good series to get into, and it'd probably take up like a year of your life.
Olivia Pope.
Olivia Pope, yeah,
That's the name of her character in the TV show.
Yeah.
So the actress is a black girl named Kerry Washington.
Yeah.
Okay, so but what's the name of the program?
Scandal.
Scandal. Okay.
Yeah. So they call her she's a fixer, isn't she? She's sort of.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's probably fixers like in our government. I mean, that's what you get when you get them like David Cameron had one. I can't remember what his name was, but.
Wasn't they do things? They've been caught sleeping with prostitutes.
Yeah, like, but that's what I'm saying. You imagine the amount. You imagine the amount of things that have happened in Downing Street, in Buckingham Palace, right?
Yeah.
And there's like, I don't know, come down. There's like a hooker that's dead on the kitchen floor.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, this needs to be cleaned up. Like, you imagine? Don't tell me that Prince Harry ain't had cock-ups. You know what I mean? There's been probably mad things happen. They're like, oh, not another one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We've got to clean this one up now.
Yeah.
But I used to watch that and think, God, I wonder if that happens in the White House, and
that probably happens in the Downing Street, the business world, everywhere, anywhere where there's money.
Yeah.
You'll have people that will just make things go away.
Yeah.
Because everyone's got a price. That's the way it works, isn't it? I mean, if someone you knew something about someone, they said to you like, look, you got two options. You're either going to go missing, or you can take this money, and go.
Never come back. Yeah.
That sounds quite tempting, actually.
Yeah, but
yeah.
You know what I mean, and I suppose that's how it works. So, but with money comes power, doesn't it? And when you've got power, you can get almost anything.
Yeah, you can sort anything out.
I mean, it's like, do any of you watch Piers Morgan?
Every now and then, not all the time.
I used to watch him when he was on GMB, but I haven't watched him since, really.
He done an interview with Rishi Sunak. I don't know if you've seen it.
I've seen some of it, yeah.
When he says to him, he goes to him, he goes,
you don't drink.
Yeah, you don't drink. You don't do drugs. You're filthy rich. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. What did he say? Was that, should we trust you or something?
Yeah.
Like that?
Oh yeah. Should we even trust you?
Yeah. So.
He's like the what is he like the 7th richest man in England or something?
I don't know.
Well, it ain't. To be fair, it ain't his wealth. It's his missus.
This is what, yeah.
It's his wife's wealth.
Well, no, but I think he did pretty well for himself, didn't he? Because he was on the money markets, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a trader.
Yeah, he was a trader. So I think he had a good. You know, he wasn't poor.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, like, it wasn't. Yeah. I mean, he wasn't wanting, but I mean, like when you're talking about wealth. I mean, her dad was like some sort of tycoon in something and worth billions.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it sort of like really overshadows what he's got. But
yeah.
But that's when people say that they can't relate to normal people.
Well, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? When the geezer pulled up at a petrol station, didn't know how to use the pump.
Oh God.
Didn't know how to use contactless.
Yeah.
I'm chuffed that I went and got an Aldi shop last night for £100 and filled my trolley.
But I just
do that again.
I said I'm just happy that I managed to fill up my trolley last night for £100.
Oh, where did you go shopping?
I went to Aldi.
God, 100 quid an Aldi, that'd be 2 trolleys, wouldn't it?
Not anymore, he ain't.
No. Does it taste all right? Is it all right? Or
Yeah, it's all right, you know.
Yeah. The best thing about Aldi's is the middle bit where they sell all the junk.
Oh, I love the shit aisle.
So you go in for a pint of milk and you come out of an edge trimmer. Or like a pair of... I've been there, I think with me and Dad went in there. Me and Dad went in to get some beers or something. We're walking down, there's like, you got like broccoli, all that sort of... And then fishing waders on the end.
Yeah.
Blinded.
Rory said to me last night, he went, he said, where you going shopping? I went, I'm going to pop into Aldi. And he went, see if you can pick up a toaster.
That's the sort of place it is, though.
I can. I couldn't.
That's the sort of place it is. But yeah, so shout out to Aldi. We can sponsor us.
Yeah.
That'd be brilliant.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to come across there.
No, and one thing I was saying to him earlier on, there's been more allegations against Russell Brand, but you can't talk about it, but there's been more now.
Oh, I'm like, look me at it. I'm just
and another police force in the UK, and everyone's favourite sort of like, what is it? Was always in the news one, but Katie Price, Jordan.
Yeah.
She's piped up and said that he's done bad things to her as well now.
So do you not think that there's this is just, I don't know, I'm probably going to say something.
I think the thing with Jordan is that she's like, there's a few bills to pay.
Yeah.
She ain't got no work.
Yeah.
Do you think that's potentially the case for some other people as well?
I don't know. Have you watched the Dispatches thing?
Yeah. No, I haven't watched Channel 4. Well, anyway. Yeah, go on. So what? I haven't watched it.
But the thing that's like even still it don't sit well with me is the thing that they seek these people out.
Yeah.
And then like when they released the text messages and that these report was sending to this one particular person, you could see that she was fishing, like she was drawing her in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? She was like drawing her in with like salacious like things that she'd heard and stuff like that. And it was like it was almost inviting it.
Yeah.
As opposed to just letting this lady blurt it all out and just say, I can't talk about it, I can't hold it back no more, this is what happened, blah blah blah. She's like fishing it out of her. And it all seemed to be too easy, like too. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have no doubts that he's done some bad things. No doubts whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I just think that this is all at a very convenient time when he's sort of like he's doing things about government corruption and corruption at the BBC and all this other stuff.
See, this is where Olivia Pope comes into it.
This is just like now they're all firing back, and I think it should scare a lot of people because I think it just goes to show you how strong that the mainstream media are, what the capabilities that they've got.
Yeah.
Because of the resources that are behind them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like he might have 5 million or whatever it is followers or whatever it is on YouTube.
Yeah.
But he hasn't got the money that they've got. And I know all these channels would love to have the amount of people watch their programs that watch his program.
Yeah.
Which is in the millions and they're only in the hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you start going up against the BBC, is technically going up against the British government.
Yeah, well,
it's a state-owned. It's the state-owned TV channel.
Yeah,
that you're trying to take down or at least expose.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you can't expect nothing to happen back to you.
No.
But yeah, but there's been more allegations today that they're investigating today. Did you, Claire? How far? This is a complete off subject, but how far are you from Oxfordshire? I mean, I know when I come and pick the kids up, and that we're about an hour apart, aren't we?
Sorry, what do you mean? How far am I from?
How far? Like, if you were to leave your house to drive to Oxford or Oxfordshire, I don't know what.
Hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, did you feel? I know this is a bit out there, but did you see that thing about the explosion in Oxford?
Yeah, I saw it. I did. I mean, I didn't see it, the explosion, but
that's what I wanted to ask. I didn't know how close it was to you.
No.
Some people were saying they could see it from miles away.
Yeah, they might have done, but I didn't see it. But it was a lightning strike, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, I was hoping it was going to be a UFO, but it turned out to be lightning.
There was
little boy and his dad. Yeah.
You just said about lightning strike. There was a school not far from here. In fact, I'm going to say Selly's school.
Yeah, I see. It was on the news today about a boy got struck by lightning.
Boy, yeah, he said apparently they what's I'm looking for? Resuscitation 25 minutes, and now he's in a coma.
Oh, bless.
Playing football, hit by bloody lightning.
God,
I mean, the chances of being struck by lightning are like 1 in what?
Don't know.
Trillions. He's got to be. I mean, when he wakes up, he's going to buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
God.
But I mean, I couldn't. Have you ever seen a video of a lightning strike?
No.
Like I could not imagine. Imagine being struck by a bolt of lightning.
Oh no. Well, you're lucky to survive at all. No. And sometimes you might survive, but would you have been better off just going anyway? You know.
Oh, it's literally like 10 minutes from here.
It's like getting fried, isn't it? I mean, it's just like being fried.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Oh, it's horrible. Because I didn't realise there were storms in that belt anyway. I mean, was it?
There was the other day.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the storms were so bad.
Were they?
Yeah. Oh, it was yesterday because I was out and the boys were at home, and then when I was in Aldi, I could hear the thunder clapping, and you could see the flashing, and I was like, oh my God, I bet they're both indoors besides themselves.
Yeah.
That's when I rang and I was like, are you all right? And he was like, yeah, like, you know, the sound of the rain on the concert where it was coming down so heavy.
Yeah.
And the thunder was so loud.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I found one. I found a good one.
Northern China that lost power after getting hit by lightning, and a house in Muskogee, Oklahoma that went up in flames after a powerful jolt, to a plane over Heathrow Airport that survived a nasty strike, and a tree in Wisconsin that got blown to pieces during a freak storm. Here are 10 of the scariest lightning strikes.
Imagine that. Imagine that you're on top of the barnet. That's got to be like, if I didn't wake up.
When lightning strikes, the bolt flows into the ground and branches out. It always follows the path of least resistance. That's why it usually strikes trees, telephone poles, and streetlights. But on July 7th,
yeah, so the odds of being struck by lightning, the odds of being struck by lightning in a given year are less than 1 in a million. And almost 90% of lightning strike victims survive.
Oh, really?
So you're more. So you're more likely to win the lottery twice than you are to get struck by lightning.
Yeah.
So I didn't realise that your chance of winning the lottery is 1 in 500,000 then.
I think so. I'm sure that's what I was reading the other day. Not quite. I could be wrong on that though.
Yeah.
I probably am. I probably am. Lottery win chance.
But imagine that, like taking your little boy to go football training and like.
No, it's horrible.
What chance?
Hold on, that can't be right. Surely. That can't be right.
What?
Oh, what's it saying?
I don't know. I'm gonna show you. That seems a bit. The chance to win the lottery is very low, about 1 in 300 million.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
But you've got to be in it to win it, right?
You've got to be in it to win it.
So would that mean then you're more likely to get struck by lightning than win the lottery? Or you're more likely to win the lottery
than get struck by lightning?
Yeah.
That's not very comforting, is it?
No. And then you wonder, is it worth playing the lottery? But you could be that one person in 300 million.
You know what? Every week, Rory goes out and does the lottery, and then he comes home and he shoves it in like the corner of a picture frame so we don't lose it. And he goes, I could be going to work for nothing.
Mm.
Like
You
every
can
week,
always
every
hang
week,
on to the dream.
oh no! Every week he thinks we've won. He goes, "That's a winner." That's
Yeah,
a winner.
Same as I say to
Feel
Dad,
like
how
feel
much
it.
money do you reckon you spent on the lottery, Dad? He's like, you probably won the lottery. The amount of money you've spent,
know.
you've probably paid for someone's lottery ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing that's got me hooked at the moment, do you listen to like Absolute Radio or any of them?
No.
No.
They do that like thing where they ring you up and you've got to say, "Make me a winner."
Okay.
Oh my god! Can you imagine not saying it?
Mm.
Right. And at the moment, it keeps rolling over. At the moment, it's 94 grand,
Right.
and I keep entering.
Do you?
It's £2 a time.
Oh,
Ah.
Bill.
God, how many
£2
times?
a
How
time.
many times do you enter?
Well, I've entered twice this week,
That's not too
but I
bad.
entered about 4 times last week.
I do keep.
And
I do enter. Well, I used to do it more, not so much now because I'm out a bit earlier in the mornings now. But the Andy Peters competitions that you used to do on GMB.
I can't stand Andy Peters.
No.
Can't stand Andy Peters. Just he's not even real. I think he's a robot.
Yeah.
It just doesn't age, does he?
No, he's one of them AI people.
Yeah.
He's like one of them.
He is very like overly bouncy, isn't he?
Yeah, he died years ago, and they've made him.
Yeah.
It's wax.
That's what they've done with him. Yeah, that's what they've done with him.
Yeah.
But a woman won it the other day. She won £82,000.
Yeah.
And they rung. She picked up the phone straight away. Make me a winner. And that was it. All the music goes in the background.
Yeah.
And they said like, check your bank account or whatever it was. And she went on and checked the bank. She like they put it straight into her bank account.
Yeah.
82 grand, and she was getting married the week after.
Yeah. That's nice.
So yeah, it's like these people.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a bit of a hater.
Yeah, I was just like, bitch, have you get struck by lightning?
Yeah.
I'm a bit jealous. I'm like, yeah, whatever, good for you.
Have you get struck by lightning, you bitch?
I find this like, oh, isn't that lovely? Could you imagine that? Winning that, waking up in the morning, you've got that, and there's part of me that thinks, oh God, I wish it was me. You know, it would be really nice.
I was on a long drive to Birmingham the other day, and all the way there I was listening to it, and I just for the whole way there, I was imagining that I'd won it.
Yeah.
And all the things I was going to do when I got home from work. So I thought the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to buy a really nice car, buy Dad a car, get it insured for the year, tax for the year, so there's no problems.
Yeah.
And I thought, what should I get? And I was thinking, I'll get trainers after that. Right. And then I'll book an holiday. I'll take the girls to Disneyland.
Mm.
And then it dawned on me that I haven't won.
Yeah.
And I felt even worse when I realised I hadn't won.
Yeah, that's right. You can also, if I won the lottery, if I won really big on the lottery, I would, of course, you'd look after everybody, wouldn't you? You know, you'd make sure everyone was all right. But I would really love to, build a house and just have it so that it was totally accessible for me, for someone disabled, but
like a custom built house,
made this with somebody who could come in and design stuff so that you could walk in and never know it was for a disabled person. You know, that there was, so things were disguised cleverly, you know, ramps were disguised cleverly, and so that. And then I would like to set up some sort of foundation, I think, you know, to support people that maybe they are disabled, or maybe they're young people that want to start up businesses and stuff. You know what I mean? I just think if you won big, if you won like the Euros and you won £100 million, you know, or even more. I mean, sometimes I've done even more than that, haven't they?
They're quarter of a billion, something.
Yeah, you know.
Do you know what I would do?
Yeah.
I've already thought about this. Well, in fact, I think about it quite a lot.
Yeah.
Because I'm really sad.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that I would open a chain of accessible holiday homes.
Oh, that's a good idea. And
because
make them
there are none. There aren't any.
No, and make them not outprice people from the market, you know, because people they're disabled, they can't afford it. It's just like they put disabled tag it onto the end of the name, and all of a sudden it doubles in price. You know, it's just crazy.
It's disgusting, really.
It's a bit of a big con. All that
I
stuff.
would do like a I would build holiday homes that are completely accessible with widened doorways, and not just you know, I mean, Claire, I ain't got to tell you, but if I've tried to book you a hotel room before, it needs to be accessible. Oh yeah, it's just a small step into the shower. No. Wet room, like it's got to be a wet room. She needs to be able to wheel her chair into the bathroom and transfer. Like, oh no, well it ain't inaccessible then, is it?
No, that's right. No.
See, is it bad that I just didn't think of anything like that? I thought of myself.
It's really, Bill, but you know.
I thought so. I didn't want to say because the first thing I thought was I'd just pay Richard Branson to go on that flight to space.
Yeah. Well, you know, if you win the Euros.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Then I'd open an orphanage.
But I think the accessible holiday homes is just a must.
It is, yeah. No, that's another good option actually.
It's a must.
Yeah. Or even if I bought something abroad, and I just adapted the whole thing, you know, just a holiday, like one holiday home, adapted it all, and then just made it really affordable for people. You know, these ridiculous.
I think to find the perfect for a disabled person, you've got to build it yourself, haven't you?
Yeah, totally.
Because nowhere's ever going to be the way that you want it.
We could probably do a whole podcast on this.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's just every disability is different, you know, and you can't be everything to all people. You can't. No, I appreciate that, but these places they could do a lot bloody better.
But it's not a lot though, Claire, is it? Let's be honest. You're not. No. It really is just like wide doorways, a wet room, and everything so you can reach it. So like everything in the kitchen is lower, but it's not like, you know. And then if you're going on a holiday, like a hoist for the pool, or it's not. It's not beyond the realms of I don't know. It just drives me insane, and it ain't even me. You're the one that has to go through it.
I just think they think that they probably think that not many disabled people are going to want to come here to go on holiday, so we'll just make it. But then I think to myself, if they made it more accessible, then you'd get more of them coming.
Yeah. Well, there you go. And that's a case in point, really, of disabled people just being pushed to the sides of. You know, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that you can't go out and do anything, because of course you can. But it's like, I mean, when we've been away, me and my partner, we go away, and you want to go to a nice hotel and whatever. The disabled accessible room is at the arse end of the hotel by the tradesman's entrance. You know.
Yeah, they chuck you out the back.
They chuck you out the back. You know, and every other hotel room is lovely. But the disabled one, the one with the wet room, is a shithole, you know. And there was one hotel, I can't remember the name of it now, but we went up to Manchester last Christmas, and the disabled room, it was lovely, you know. It was lovely. It wasn't perfect, but it was doable, and it was lovely, you know. And it was just like all the other rooms, but it had a wet room and a shower seat and a couple of bars. You know, I mean, what else do you need? You know, so some places can do it a lot better, but most don't. And like you said, I mean, sometimes it would just be nice to go away and be able to go into a nice room rather than something that looks like, I'm sorry, a travel lodge.
It's just something that's just been thrown together.
Yeah. Well, the thing is as well, because there might only be one or two rooms like that.
Yeah.
In the whole hotel, so it gets abused, basically, doesn't it? It's just, you know.
The trouble is they rent them rooms out to people that are not disabled when they haven't got disabled people staying there. Yeah. And the people that are not disabled are the ones that rip the arsehole out the rooms.
Yeah.
So if you had a room that was only ever rented out, or only ever whatever, like when the guest comes to stay, was only for a disabled person.
Yeah.
But all the other times it was kept locked.
Yeah.
Still cleaned, but just kept locked. Then they'd probably be a lot better. Because I've been to loads of hotels. I mean, when I used to tour with a band, I've been on loads, and people treat hotels like shitholes.
Yeah.
Because it ain't theirs.
Oh, that's right.
Because it's not theirs. They don't pick up nothing, don't tidy up nothing, and they don't, because it ain't theirs, because they know they've not got to do it. Someone else is going to come in and tidy that room.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and things get broken and abused.
Animals. I think that was just you and your bandmates. Because I don't.
No. No. I only ever threw 2 tellies out of a window.
Well, there you go. There you go.
I only threw 2 tellies out of a window.
My leg's gone dead.
Yeah.
But, Yeah, so
right, well, maybe we should call it a day before Emma falls asleep on
Oh,
screen.
so.
oh,
Okay.
Dan, please don't make that face on camera. It's disgusting.
No. Nails look nice though.
Oh, do you know what? I literally threw it on the other day. Although
Yeah.
I am missing one.
Oh,
Oh God.
I picked it off this morning. I couldn't help it.
no, I know. I'd do the
Right.
same.
Okay.
Right then. Okay. Well, it was lovely.
Yeah, so we'll reconvene next week.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been a bit of a busy week this week, but we'll have to we've got to find something. We'll have to come up with a juicy topic.
Yeah.
Yes.
A juicy topic. When we've all got a spare 5 minutes, we'll have to just come
We
up
need
with a juicy,
people to vote. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to put a poll up on the YouTube page.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, cool idea.
Yeah, I'll put a poll up.
Yeah, do it.
Well, let me
Not- I don't
know
know
what you're putting in the poll, and then I'll do it my end as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, you know,
All right. Good night, John. Bye.
Yeah.
Good night, John. Bye.
Good night, John Boy.
Laters, baked potatoes.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.